YouTube, we are live. We are live. Chris with Jerno's Comics and Pop Culture, guys. Happy Free Comic Book Day Wednesday. Happy Comic Book Day Wednesday. Let's, as always, kick back for a couple minutes. If you guys are watching this on the replay, might want to fast forward the next couple minutes, allow some folks to get in. I'm so excited to be here today. Man, what a day, what a day. Let's see if we got some comments. Isaac's already in the house. All right. I know there is an awesome Spider-Man and Venom Free Comic Book Day book that's coming out today. Big shout out to A1 Comics who are having their Instagram live stream tonight. I'll probably, when I wrap this up, I'll probably head over there and check out their live sale. I recommend you guys go do that as well. Metarog, thank you for hopping on today. We're at Gaming, what's going on? So yeah, a nice little list of things to get into today. So like I said, let's just hang out for a couple minutes before I have an unboxing to do. I got some shout outs. I'm going to be shouting out some YouTubers, talking about my journey as a content creator in this amazing comic book community on YouTube. I'm going to shout out some new subscribers. I got an unboxing, and I also got a giveaway that I will be picking one viewer today from the live stream. I'll be showing that off in a little bit here. Kay Titus, what's going on? Mike. Indeed. So yeah, I started the stream a couple minutes early. Like I said, we'll hang out for a couple minutes. Man, thank you, Metarog. I really appreciate it, man. I was just watching your last top 5 storybooks, and I think what 4 out of the 5 were Bronze Age goodness. I love it. Ash Crimson, what's in the box? Hopefully some goodies. It is from Midtown, and I don't really know what I have coming from Midtown because early on in the shutdown, I ordered some sale orders when they were having sales, but then I have my previews orders, the pre-sale previews orders, and I don't know, everyth's been so delayed, and it's just so weird that I don't even know what's in the box, but hopefully something awesome. Man, yeah, so let's give it 2 more minutes, guys. When my live marker hits the 5-minute mark, we'll just dive straight into this stream. Again, I appreciate all of you being here. If you haven't subscribed to me on Twitter or followed me on Twitter or Instagram, please do so. Jerno's _comics. Check me out over there. I'm on Facebook now, guys. I've had a Facebook page for Jerno's Comics. I haven't been using it. I am now, so you can check me out at Jerno's Comics, no underscore on Facebook. It's up and running, and I plan on utilizing it to send updates and to communicate with folks as well. I haven't been big on the Facebook scene in years past, but that's going to change. Just this last week, obviously hitting 2K on YouTube. I also hit 1K followers on Instagram, so I want to say thank you to everyone for that support there. I just started Instagram probably about a year and a half ago now. I was late to that scene as well, but yeah, I'm glad I started. I mean, I just love scrolling Instagram, and I keep I have a personal Instagram, of course, but obviously for Jerno's Comics, it's everything comic books and pop culture, and I just love scrolling and seeing everyone else's comic books and collections and toys and comic book rooms and so forth. Mike, that ASM 129. Yeah, let's get a little more. Oh, yep. I'm so excited. So excited. There we go. That's a little better, huh? Woo. All right, guys. Counting down a few more seconds here. I hope everyone is doing well. Like I said, I'll probably be hopping off of this live stream when we're done here and heading over to A1 Comics' Instagram for their live sale. Cobra Commander, Thank you. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate the support. The Warlock and the Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity Watch #1's Cobra Commander is asking how is it going? I think I'm on 9. Is that what I said? There might be another one in this box that I got here that we're going to open today, so we'll see about that. But all right, guys, so let's just dive into some things. Let me just put it out there and take a minute to speak my mind, to give my gratitude to all of you, and to say thank you. I have been doing YouTube as JLS Comics for just over 4 years. I started my journey because my kid, well, actually, let's go back. I started my journey mainly because I was building this room right here. And I started looking up how-to tips. And one of the how-to tips that I was looking up was how to build a custom comic book shelf. And that's what got me down the rabbit hole of comic book YouTubers. And I just have to give a big shout out to 2 of the people that I found in those first few days of searching YouTube. And besides a couple of people that were showing off their units, and I forget their names, but 2 people that really said, wow, this is amazing. There's actually a community here. Captain Strangelife and Don Comicbook Junkie. And I'm going to go through a whole list. Kid Collector, how you doing today, man? Thanks for joining. I'm going to go through a list in a minute here, but, you know, that's what got me looking at YouTube and watching YouTube. And ever since then, I was like, wow, I was just spending so much time every day watching these videos, and it just pulled me in. And my kids started watching some with me, and they were like, hey, you know, once I had the room done, they're like, hey, why don't you do a show off your room and in collection? I'm like, okay, I guess. So I created a YouTube and I made my first video showing off the room and some of my books. And it was probably one of the most awkward things that I'd ever done. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm a musician, actually was a musician as a career on a label, touring, doing shows, making music for part of my life. And I performed in front of thousands of people. You know, so it's not like there was the shy bug there, but it was just something that I never did before. I never really publicly talked about comics or geek culture, anything like that. I mean, we could sit here and talk about music all day, and I'm good, right? But this was something very new to me, and I'm like, here's my books, here's my room. I didn't know how to vibe it, but I did it. I did it for my kids, and once I did it, I kept doing it, you know, and I met so many amazing people along the way. And that brings me to the point where I just want to say right here that this video is absolutely 100% dedicated to our friend OMG Chris, who, as we all know, passed away in March due to some health issues. And I just want this live stream today to embody his spirit. And I just want everyone that knew him, everyone that watched OMG Chris's channel, everyone that came together for OMG Chris's memorial expenses to help his brother Sean out. Let's just continue to remember Chris, because he is one individual that was a viewer early on, that I viewed his channel early on, and just, you know, we made such a good bond and connection. And I still have a couple OAKs that he sent me that I'll keep until the day I'm gone. So this is definitely dedicated to him. But yeah, so, you know, my journey in those first few years of doing YouTube was, you know, it wasn't very serious, but I made some friendships. I made videos when I could, but I was a full-time student raising 2 kids. It was tough. I took hiatuses. I was we were displaced from our home for over 3 months in fall 2017 because we had black mold all throughout the house and we were living in hotels. That was a dilemma. And I still remember the first video that I came back and did, after being away for that long a time. So a lot of crazy things have happened over the years. I've had the opportunity to share with so many of you guys. And, you know, after graduating college last summer, 2019, I stepped up my game a little and started making things happen a little more and being a little more involved. And then, of course, with the COVID shutdown, I've been producing content basically 5 to 6 days a week. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunities, making the best of bad situations. And I appreciate that all of you enjoy sitting there and listening to me talk, right? And I don't mean to sound, I'm being humble. I'm not being vain. I mean, I'm serious. It's like, really, when we think about it, and I feel this way about other YouTubers, like I could sit there and just listen to them talk. You know, a few off the top of my head are, you know, Metarog, AFTA Comics, you know, Silver Age Dave. There's these collectors out there that could just sit and tell stories. And, you know, sometimes when I'm watching them, I kind of am multitasking and I'm not even watching the show, but I'm listening, doing something else. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I think Alan Garrett with AFTA Comics, he's a radio personality. So he has that voice that you could just listen to. So, yeah, but so I appreciate that you guys believe in what I do so much that you guys take the time to watch and to listen. So I really appreciate that. Mark Spector Comics, what is going on? Comic Mag Musing. Thank you all. Thank you all. So guys, okay, I'm going to go into giving shout outs. So again, actually, before I do this, let me give another rundown. I'm going to give some shout outs to YouTubers that have inspired me that I built friendships with along the way. Okay, I'm going to give shout outs to some of my new subscribers because this is all about you guys. 2K subscribers, this is all about you guys. We got an unboxing, okay? And we got a comic giveaway. I didn't announce that before or anything, but there will be a comic giveaway. Nothing too crazy, just a little something to show my appreciation for one amazing viewer today. How we're going to do that is just I ask that you be subscribed to my channel and you just show up, hang out for a little bit and comment, you know, on any topic that we're talking about today. And then I will go back through the comments and randomly pick somebody to give the giveaway prize to. All right. So with that being said, Simon, thank you for joining today. Appreciate it. All right, guys, let me go through the list. Now, I'm going to go through a list of YouTubers. I wrote this list out as best as I could to like my journey. So the first ones that I'm going to shout out are some of the first ones that I watched or that subscribed to me or that I made friendships with. But it's no particular order. And guys, let me tell you, this is for creators. If your name isn't on this list, I humbly apologize. There's so many of you. There's so many of you. And some people on this list don't even make content anymore, but they mean something to me and were a part of my journey along the way. So without further ado, let's get into the shout out list, guys. Okay. So, all right. Again, this is for comic book or YouTube content creators. Again, first off, we're going to take the amazing Spider-Man 129 off. Again, to our friend OMG Chris. This is for you. You are the first name on this list. My heart and much love to your brother Sean. Right now, I hope he is in good health. This is for you. 100%. You were a big brother to so many of us. And as I'm talking right now, I'm getting goosebumps and chills, and it's just, you know, I still can't believe that he's gone in the flesh, but deeply embedded in our souls and our spirit forever. So, first name, OMG Chris. All right, moving along, guys. We got Don, Comicbook Junkie. I can't say enough about Don. You know, Don is he's such a unique character. He does what he wants. He does what he feels, and he collects how he wants to collect. He is a junkie to the truest form, and I appreciate that about him. And Don is just, you know, really a good guy that absolutely loved comics. I know he's been going through a lot, losing a member of his family, his dog, Miss Haley, and I call pets members of the family. So he hasn't been doing too much videos, but if you see this, Don, You know, my heart is always with you. I am working on some commissions for Don right now too. I haven't actually started, but I just finished another commission piece, and I'll be starting on his like probably tomorrow. So, all right, next up, Captain Strangelife. This guy probably has just one of the most amazing collections ever. You talk about hoarders. I am a true hoarder, and Captain Strangelife is like probably should be in the Guinness Book World Records. I don't for who anybody that says comic book collecting is nothing but hoarding, I take it. And boy, let's give a big shout out to Captain Strangelife because he has comics all over his house and it's endless. I would just love, I would absolutely pay to go into Captain Strangelife house and have a tour. That's how amazing his stuff is. So next on my list, Reader1717. This is a YouTuber that hasn't really been active on YouTube lately, but she was an individual that I just got pulled in. Like, I just loved her content. You know, I follow her on social media still, and you know, getting to know her over the years and watching her, just a really, really humble human being. Next up, Crypt of Castle Hills, talking about somebody that you can just listen to. Mike has told some of the most amazing stories that I've heard on YouTube. He's just another one of those personalities, and he also has a great collection. I just, you know, watch him, and he's just brought me back to the 70s and 80s, even to stuff that isn't related to comics. Like, he was telling us the story about how he used to work in an electronics shop. I think it was what, Circuit City or something. And I mean, just like, I'm such a nostalgia buff. Yeah, so Mike, Crypt of Castle Hills. I'm just so happy that you're a part of this community. Another one, Semper Fi Comic Guy, Vince. I don't think he makes YouTube anymore. I do believe he's still on Facebook. I haven't checked in with him in a while, but he's just a great guy, and he really got me into this community. Another one that I don't think is in the community anymore, Eddie the Comic Guy. He was someone that gave me one of my first OAKs, and they were for my kids. They were room posters personalized for my kids with superheroes on them. So my little guy still has his hanging up. My oldest got a little old and moved into his own room and took his down, but he's actually getting back into comic books. And I want to say, hey, let's hang this back up because he was asking for a Spider-Man poster. All right. Anyways, moving on, guys. PopCom Mike, aka currently Cobra Comics, just again a really humble guy. You know, he stepped away from YouTube. I hope he comes back. Another one that I have to give a big shout out to, and he's pretty local to me, Tat Comics. He's a musician as well as a comic collector, and I appreciate his musical talents. He entered my 100 sub contest and did an amazing musical performance, man. And I just rewatched that video 2 days ago, and I'll never forget it. Amazing, amazing. And AG Surfer, who I believe is Tat's brother. It's been a while, but big shout out to him. White Nova across the pond, again, someone who doesn't really do YouTube anymore, but just a really humble guy. He's followed me, and I followed him for a long time. The Doom 143. This guy kind of disappeared too, man, and he was doing it, man. He had a channel, really good personality. He sent me some Captain America comics as an OAK. I sent him some Starbucks cards because he was the collector of Starbucks cards, and I had like a ton just laying around because they like do custom ones, you know, and he collects them. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, Doom 143, man. I hope to see you back. This guy, Alex the Comic Hoarder, man. What can I say about Alex? I think Alex is probably one of the most humble guys in the community, and he just has an amazing collection. This guy is like super sneaky with this collection because I don't know if I've ever seen a full-on like collection tour, and he just keeps pulling out the most amazing books. And I'm like, Alex, like, come on, you're holding back. He is just a collector of collectors, man. And you know, I think he's probably around my age. So to see what he's going to do over the next 10, 20 years as a collector, I'm happy that Alex is a part of this community. He sets the tone, and he's just a pillar, man, for sure. JoJo, Flix and Comics. I really like and there's been others out there as well. I talked about Reader 1717. I like that we can welcome this community to women. You know, this isn't just a man's world here. And JoJo is a true to heart collector. I love that she is a Batman fan. And, you know, I did an amazing piece of work for her because she won my 500 sub contest. And it was a Batman and Catwoman 1992 Batman Returns piece. And it's to date, it's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever drawn. So big shout out to JoJo. Trinity Comics, Jeremy. Again, another person that just hasn't been on YouTube, but what a real humble guy. He made a video and won my grand prize for my 100 sub contest. And he made himself vulnerable in what he talked about because I asked some personal questions. And that helped him win. And also, I asked for to show off something that you do outside of comic collecting. And he plays guitar and sings a little as well. And without knowing that this was one of my favorite songs of all time, he brought out the guitar and started singing and playing Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. And that's one of my all-time favorite songs. And I'm like, dude, like it brought tears to my eyes, man. And like he just randomly picked my favorite song to do for my contest. He won my grand prize. I did a custom Heath Ledger Joker variant cover, blank variant cover for him. So I hope Jeremy is doing well. Big shout out to him. All right, next up on the list, we got Genome Presents. Just another great personality. This guy needs to have more subscribers. Guys, I'm not leaving the links to all these people, but if you could just search them in the YouTube search bar and go sub them up, each and every one of them, man. Like I said, some of them may not be doing YouTube. Genome is active. This guy has so much knowledge. He's a word worker. He's an artist, and I love that about him too. But he's just a really cool guy that I happen to do a really fun thing. I sent him a act of kindness, and I kind of surprised him with one of his favorite artists is Ron Lim. And one of his favorite runs was the Punisher Bullseye run, Streets. Oh, shoot. I forget. But he was like, he did a video showing off. This is like my favorite storyline and my favorite book with one of my favorite artists and my favorite villain, one of my favorite villains, Bullseye. And I knew that Ron Lim was doing a signing. So I got my copy of that book and had Ron Lim sign it. And I sent it to Genome. So I totally surprised him. It was super awesome. A big shout out to Genome. Next up, Matilda Gothika. Just an amazing human being and an amazing artist. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's probably out of view, but I have her. She drew me. And I have that up there. I also have this piece of hers that she sent me right here. And her art will always be a part of my collection and of my room. So big shout out to Matilda Gothika. Next up, Silver Age Dave, another guy with just amazing stories and an amazing collection. And just like he's another one that I could just sit and listen to all day. JLS Comics was one of the early ones I watched, and he's been doing big things. He does a lot of movie stuff now and more entertainment stuff. I'm gonna go through these a little faster now. Seawater 19. Just a really good guy. He won my auction, or he bid the highest bid on my Ninja Turtle custom book that I made for the OMG Chris live show. Comics Most Wanted, who is a local. I got to meet him in person. Maybe after this shutdown, we can get a chance to hang out again. I already talked about AFTA Comics. Amazing collection, amazing stories. BigLBo, who I believe is pretty local as well. Tracere's Comics and Things. 64-page special, brings amazing humor to YouTube. The Grayman, Kingdoms Comics, I still need to get him his prize winnings for my last contest. Comics Altruism, Thomas Churchill, Spirit Comics, ETA Nick, a lot of good market analysis videos. Dr. Von Chilla, that's another good one. Strange Blade, who big up to Strange Blade, who today just gave me some 411 on some really cool information on a topic that's been going on. So there it is, guys. That's my list of YouTubers. There's so many more out there. And like I said, if I didn't shout you out It's not because I forgot about you. I'm looking at the comments now. Genome is in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Newbie Comics. 90M Hot Mud. Trying to say what's up to all you guys, man. I was looking at another page, so I didn't see the chat there. Second Street Marvel. Man, all you guys. Ash Crimson. All right, guys. Okay, so bear with me. I'm gonna. We have an unboxing, and there will be a contest giveaway. And I'll show that prize. Like I said, it's nothing big, but I'll show the prize once I get through my shout out to some new subscribers. So next up, I'm gonna give a shout out to some of my new subscribers. I'm just gonna make it quick. I'm gonna run through the list because again, this is about you guys. I would not be here doing this if it wasn't for you guys. You guys make this happen. So maybe some of you are watching. Are you guys ready? I'm going to go down the list. Here we go. Big subscriber shout outs. If I mispronounce some of your guys' names, I truly apologize. I'm going to do my best. All right. Theo Hara, Ian O'Hara, the JFK Experience. I like the sound of that. Kauai Rules, Sun Jim, Jaguar. Ooh, man. Jaguar Zhao Kotal. Comics Maine, Moses Alvarez, Chillmonger, Bodhi Lassiter, Ben Deschane, EXGI20, Panda King, Mike Sears, Giuseppe Anie, Paul Zulecki, Juan Jose Uribe, Roadside NY Fishing, Nicole Dorton, Luke, Robert Corden, Kurt John Gatmaton. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Sequential Geek. Slim Daddy-O 2000, the Canadian comic collector, rocking my Montreal Expos hat. Newbie Comics, who I think is in the building today. Gloria Sears. Hey, I wonder if Gloria is related to Mike Sears. Brock Morgan. Andrea Slemons. Adrian Daly. B. Venturis. Funk O Fix Doggy, Alexandro, G. Marie, Nigel, Matt DeVoe, Joe Martelli, EMRYS, Crowjack 007, DY, Jake 1248, Rob Boswell, Bonix, Brett Sokolowski, Crispin Saku, Jonathan Skatoff, the dude without fear. That's what I'm talking about. Best Core, Gazonita, Lucas Hollifield, the Pie Face 667, Heriberto Lopez, Jamagu, Bo Baker, Evan Shimko, Nestor Pacheco, DJ Sick Rick, Funk Comics 814, Kevin Krogan, Double Down Hustle, Kenny Atomic, My Brother's Ears, My Sister's Eyes. Interesting. Evan Lie, Sibrant Van Dijk Jr., Logan Castle, Matthews Nerd Nation, Tara Glitch, Violet, Insane Cosplay, 1987, YouTube Vac. Few more here, guys. Wayne the Corpse, Ripkin 3408, ya boy NES, Comic Books NYC, Vincent Diaz, Jack Napier 827, Hugh MC Conville, Brian Wilson, Monk's Den, Comic News Network, Real AWOL 54, James Lee, Overdressed. I like that. Silver Haired Bronze Age Babe Comics. I like that's a good one too. Utlaw 97, James Goodwin, Ty Brandt, C. Beeston, Paul, Chris O, Randall DeVere, Gary Simmons, Mike Liller, Caden Rust, Justin Ealer, Jim Bose, Year-long Giant, few more guys, Comic Book Champ, Evil OS 72, Piku, Dear Ezirn. All right, and lastly, I want to give a big shout out to Oh, let me make sure I get. Oh shoot. Let me make sure I get the name right. Let me make sure I get the name right, guys. And oh yeah, I got it. Big shout out to Ninja Slicer. Ninja Slicer was my 2,000th subscriber, so I want to give a big shout out to Ninja Slicer for allowing me to hit that mark and cross that that pinnacle. So Danny Boy, Coffee Breath, Discovery Bay, what's going on, guys? Quiet Storm 76, Bishner, Thomas, Apple. All right. Awesome stuff. Guys, sub each other up in the chats. Like I said, if you go back and listen to all the YouTubes that I shouted up, try to sub all those YouTubers up, man. So, all right, guys, what should we get into? How about showing off my little prize that I'm going to be giving away today? And like I said, nothing big, but just a little something for me to give back. All you have to do is be subscribed to me. So if you're not, just subscribe. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter if you haven't yet, at Jernos_comics, like it says right here. Check me out on Facebook at Jernos Comics. All you have to do is be subscribed to me on YouTube and just leave a comment in the chat today and, comment on something that we're talking about. And the prize today, guys, is a giant size X-Men reprint and a mid-grade Conan the Barbarian number 100. It's got a little bit of moisture damage. But I am going to put it in the press. I'm going to put this in the press. It's got a little staining right here, a little bit of ripples in here, but I'm going to give this guy a press to allow this book to look a bit nicer for whoever wins this today. And then again, the giant size X-Men. I might throw in maybe one or two little small things as well with that. So guys, like I said, all you need to do to win the prize is just be subscribed to me. At any point in the show, comment below, leave a cool comment, and I'm gonna randomly pick out of the comics. So if you are picked, I will do a video stating my 2K live stream winner. I'll state the name. So for all you guys watching, watch that video when it posts, so and then you can reach out to me or give me your contact information, so forth. I can give you email, and then I'll get your address, and I'll send the books out to you guys. Okay, so that's my little giveaway. All right. 585 Comics, what's going on? All right, Coffee Breath, I love it. Okay, guys, what should we do? Should we do an unboxing, or should I answer some questions? I'll give you guys 60 seconds. Let's get a poll going. Comic unboxing. Or should I answer some questions? Whatever it is. Do. 40 more seconds. Any feedback? Any feedback at all whatsoever? Another big shout out to Simon for sending me this awesome AOK Virgin cover of Thor number 5. I'm just still blown away by that. Unboxing and then Q&A. All right, we got 15 seconds. Anybody else want to chime in? Brick Hunter, what's going on? What's in the box? All right, we got a few for the box. All right, let's do the box, guys. We are going to do it. I got my knife. We're going to get into it. All right, once again, I thank you all for being here today. Cobra Commander says, open the box. All right, again, guys, I just want to say thank you. I have lots of big things planned for the channel. I want to continue to strive for excellence, and whatever that means, whether that's beefing up my quality, and quality can mean different things too. It doesn't mean I have the best lighting or the best camera or things like that, and that does matter. And like I said, I do put money back into this channel the best that I can, but it's also what I'm providing for you guys and the types of videos and all that. So, you know, I take this very seriously. I appreciate each and every one of you, and that is nothing but the truth. You know, so you guys allow me to do something that I'm passionate about, and I truly appreciate it. Lots of awesome things coming up in the next couple of weeks. I should be getting books back from CGC, so I'll be doing a live unboxing for some of them, and then I'll be doing with a special guest, and I also will be just posting a video showing some of them off, and I'm also going to show some of them off on my Comic Book Canon show. If I get them before Friday, that might happen this Friday on the show, or maybe next Friday. Midtown Comics. That's where these books are from. Now let's see what we got. Thank you, Brick Hunter, man. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I don't really know what this is. I don't know if this is a sale. Yeah, okay, so this was a sale. This wasn't. Okay, so I'm still waiting for my previews order, but I did reach out to Midtown, and they take forever to reply. They took like a week and a half. But they did say that, yes, previews have been delayed merely because of the diamond shutdown, and that's why. But let's show some books off, guys, okay? We still got some goodies here. All right. Thor number 4. The first cameo of Black Winter. And yes, I got this for cover price minus the discount of the sale, whatever it was, before all the hype started. So awesome. Thor number 4 to go with the Virgin Thor number 5 from the awesome Simon R. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What else do we got? And I'm going to try to rip these tags off, guys, before I show them, because I want you guys to see the full book. I love ripping them off and not having it rip the poly bag. Okay, next up, Young Avengers number 3. Now, we got a lot of hype around the Young Avengers, and we don't know if we're going to see them in the MCU. I personally do not think that the next Avengers movie that's going to be built up to is going to be a Young Avengers film, but I do feel like there can be a Young Avengers team introduced. I just don't think they're going to have a standalone film like that. So that's my opinion on the Young Avengers. But you know, some good. I've heard a lot of good things just about the story telling the Young Avengers, because I've never read it. So some really cool artwork on some of these covers as well. So next up, we got Young Avengers number 7. And again, I got these on like a 40% off sale or something like that. Young Avengers number 7. Ooh, this is a cool cover. Yeah, oh yeah, Quiet Storm says Secret Wars. You know, with now I wouldn't say they're doing Secret Wars. I don't know if that's been I like to stay away from solidifying something until it comes from Marvel Studios or Disney. But yes, to Quiet Storm's point, we did get the Russo brothers. At least I know in Quiet Storm. If you know something that I don't, let me know, because I'll go research it. Russo brothers are talking about how the perfect setup would be for Secret Wars and how well it could work. So they're really hinting at something. I think it would be one of the right, if not the right way to go. Secret Wars for sure. Here's Young Avengers number 11. Again, some cool artwork here. And then what do we got here? Ooh. We got a one-shot. I got it. All right, we got Young Avengers Special number 1, one-shot. There we go. So got some Young Avengers theme there. Oh, who is it? Who's been inquiring? Was it was it? Oh shoot. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes my memory lapses. But who just said in the beginning of the stream, how's my How's my Warlock and the Infinity Watch going? Was it oh my god, I'm sorry guys. But look what I got. Another one. Warlock and the Infinity Watch #1. I think this is like issue 9 or 10 that I have in my collection. I'm sorry guys. I'm addicted to this book. This is a nice copy. It's got probably a near mint minus. Because it's got a little bit of a roughing at the top there, but other than that, that was Cobra Commander. Thank you. Yeah, there's another copy, man. Yep. Let's see what's next, huh? Oh, I thought it might be another one, but it's not. Okay, here's some speculation stuff, guys. Let me see. I don't think I can rip this off because it's one of their older label stickers. Some of it came off. All right, guys, we got Ronin Annihilation 4 of 4. There's a lot of speculation on anything involving Annihilation. So now what I was looking for was some of the Nova Annihilations because I think we're going to be seeing Nova soon. And I think with the Fantastic Four coming in, we're going to see Annihilation and probably have Fantastic Four and Nova involved in that to some capacity. That's just a theory that I have. So there's #4. Sick cover, man. Awesome cover. And then we got, oh, that one came all the way off. #2, Ronin Annihilation #2. Again, beautiful, beautiful artwork. Beautiful stuff. Can't wait to throw those in some Mylar. All right, let's get this. This label is, and these labels are so big. There we go. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Is this J.G. Jones? I want to say this is J.G. Jones. I'm not sure. Or is it Ari Granoff? They have some similar style. Super Skrull Annihilation #1. Look at that artwork. Oh man, that's just beautiful. I'm taking this out. I'm looking at this. Look at that. And let me see who this artist is. Let's see if I was right, if it's one of those guys. If it shows. Let's see. Oh, it's Del Otto. Yep. Beautiful. Awesome. Moving along to Super Skrull Annihilation 2 of 4. Yeah, Quiet Storm Silver Surfer as well, right? Cobra, I smell a conspiracy. Maybe. Oh, I love this cover. Now, this is a really interesting cover because it's a more modern cover, yet has a bit of a cartoony vibe to it still. And this is a Decimation tie-in. And I've also heard about Decimation storyline possibly showing up somewhere, maybe the next phase or two of the MCU. I didn't get all the label out, but this is New Avengers #17, and I really like this cover. Like I said, it has I like realism, and this has that realism vibe to it, but yet it's still a bit more on the caricature side in the faces. Sweet. We got another Decimation tie-in here. And that's New Avengers #18. Awesome stuff. Another Decimation tie-in, another sick cover. This cover is just beautiful. Again, lots of good books to throw in those Mylars. Oh man, this one, this label isn't coming out. I'm taking this out of the bag to show off because I want to show it off in all of its glory and not with some big old label. This is New Avengers number 19. Look at that beautiful cover. I just love the colors in it and how they pop and shine and glimmer. Brick Hunter, I do have I don't have a Nova number 1 in my possession because it's in the mail. It's on its way back from CGC. So yeah, my Nova number 1 was sent out to CGC. I guessed a 7.0 on it. That was my guess. Hopefully we'll see later this week. I think I checked the tracking. It's supposed to come on Friday, my book. So, all right, another Decimation tie-in and another absolutely beautiful cover that I'm going to take out again just because of the tag. But look at that. Look at that. Wow. New Avengers number 20. Rudy, what's going on, Rudy? Thanks for stopping in. Second Street Marvel, thanks for stopping in today. I appreciate you. All right, we got a couple more books here. And more Annihilation. This is Annihilation Conquest, Quasar, number 1. Quasar is another one that could show up at some point in the not too far off future. And last book, Quasar Annihilation Conquest, number 2. So there it is, guys. That is my live unboxing haul. And my 9th or 10th Warlock book. Let me see. Let's count. You guys want to count them up? Let's count them up. And then I'll get into some Q&A. I know they're in this box somewhere. Let's see. A, Z, E, B, W. I still got to do my ABCs. And I think I have one. I have one in my pressing station that's getting pressed up right now. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the 9 in my pressing station. So it was my 9th one. I love this book. I'm telling you. If you can find this book for a couple bucks, why not? Why not? All right, guys. That was the haul. Let's get into some Q&A. So many things to always talk about, guys. And that's what I love. I love that, I've been doing these live streams, during this lockdown and the quarantine and with everything going on. I love all the dialogue that I've had engaging back and forth with you all. In 5 years, Infinity Watch 1 will be the most sought after comic thanks to Jerno. Yeah, and then I'm going to get the conspiracy theorists picking up the pitchforks at me saying, manipulating the market. So, yeah, any questions, guys, that you want to ask about anything relating comics, comic collecting, storage, MCU, movie hype, anything pop culture, toys. I do want to state that, again, big shout out to Strange Blade. There's an issue going on right now with the first appearance of Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. And so let me just say, from my quick research into this, this is one of the most stickiest situations when it comes to first appearances. Now, we know, and I've done videos on this, we know that the whole first appearance next to cameo appearance has been an argument that's going to always be present. But this character specifically, So, according to the market has seen Superman Batman Annual #4 as the first appearance of Batman Beyond. The market has this book at the higher value of any book that could be related to possibly his first appearance. This is the high dollar tag book. But then there's also talk about it being Superman Batman #22 of, I believe, the volume 1, which came out 5 years before the annual. So another thing that makes this even more interesting is that CGC nor CBCS recognize either of these books as a first appearance. Hardly anybody recognizes #22 as a first appearance either. Not Overstreet, not Cover Price, not Go Collect, not Key Collector app. But Key Collector app and Cover Price do recognize Annual #4 as the first appearance. Now, what's weird is that the DC fandom actually sees Batman 700 is the first appearance. But here's the interesting thing. Almost every platform recognizes the fact that Terry McGinnis did show up in Superman Batman #22 5 years before what some are claiming to be his first appearance. It's crazy. So Strange Blade gave me some information stating that there was never any evidence coming from DC Library of Congress or any solidified source stating a first appearance, a true first appearance. So now I think this is a situation because you got Key Comic Collectors app are getting criticized saying, look, this is false information. You need to correct it, but he's not the only one. This is multiple sources that's existed before Key Comic Collector app was even in existence. The market has seen this Annual 4 as the true first appearance. So I think the DC absolutely needs to make a public statement on this. They need to make a public statement. This is a wacky situation, guys, I'll have to say. Quiet Storm, I've been pulling DC Heat out of Five Below packs and pulling hip hop variants out of Walmart 7. Nice. Yeah, Simon, this goes way beyond even like the cameo dilemma. This is such I don't think I've ever seen an issue that was this big of a dilemma. It's just a tangled web of craziness. Mark Spector, I picked up a Superman Batman Annual 4 at a flea market recently for 20 cents. Nice. Ash Crimson, so Batman Beyond is like the same case as Harley Quinn. Well, I think there's similarities, right? Because of the first appearance not being in comic books, and then so Strange Blade tried to tell me about the retcon that they did and why 700 wasn't technically a first appearance, but even that came out after the Superman Batman #22. So very interesting. What's going on, JoJo? Thank you so much. Newbie says, yeah, this is crazy. This is worse than the game. Absolutely. It's like 100 times worse than the Gambit scenario. Let me get some water, guys. It's nuts. So I'm going to be following this. Again, big shout out to Strange Blade, who did a lot of research. City Limit Comics did a YouTube on it. So big shout out to him for bringing this issue to my attention. I love playing detective. And I love getting to the bottom of these things. And I think this is definitely something that that needs to be addressed. And I think those in a position to bring this up, to bring awareness, and to really get DC involved. I absolutely believe that DC needs to make a public statement. They need to set the record straight 100%. And I know that Strange Blade said that he and some folks reached out to CGC, and that's why they never solidified it on any of their labels for their slabs. It's a very, very interesting situation. And it does go way beyond the Gambit scenario, or even the Carol Danvers, which has kind of been a topic. I mean, so many of them. But Gambit's been one that's been getting a lot of flag next to some others. But this is in a league of its own for sure. Batcave was the one who broke the news. He came on its drunken chat and mentioned his findings. It was crazy. Okay, Batcave. Is that is he on YouTube? Because I'm gonna check that out. Absolutely. Apple, yes, just like Harley Quinn's first appearance was a book attached to the Batman Mask of the Phantasm bundle with the Joker toy. It's a coloring comic book, and that was Harley's first appearance. Oh, right. Yeah. Mask of Phantasm. Mask of the Phantasm, man. I think that's one of the greatest animated films ever. Ever. I think that if theaters ever open up again, I would love to see. We're probably coming up to a 20 anniversary. 20. Gosh, 30-year anniversary of Mask of the Phantasm soon. I think they should do a theatrical release of that. I definitely think it's one of the greatest animated films. One of my favorites, that's for sure. Anthony Shortbox, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you. He has an Instagram, Batcave. Okay, I'll check him out. No one cares about coloring books, Brick Hunter. Tell that to my kids. Well, my kids are kind of grown out. My youngest does some coloring books still, a little bit, but yeah. Come on now, coloring books. I love some coloring books. Let's see. Okay, I'm about to check out Batcave on Instagram. Man, some other hot news, man. One thing I want to bring up. I think I'm following Batcave. Batcave Comics. Oh, I'm following Batcave. Okay, so I'll check that out. One thing I did want to bring up, guys, is we talked about last week in the Comic Book Cannon show. If you haven't subscribed to the Comic Book Cannon YouTube channel, please go check us out. We have a live show every Friday. But we talked about, there was an article published last week about what the comic book industry did in sales in 2019, and it shattered records. And a lot of it's trade paperback and graphic novels, but even standalone single issues were up by 5%. And I just want to bring that to everyone's attention watching right now. Print comics are not dying. They are not going anywhere. They are healthier than ever. And I keep saying that. And the proof is in the pudding. I don't have the article up right now to discuss it. But, hey, Titus. Nothing that you can't, watch on the rewind. But, yeah, so single print issues were up from the year before by 5%. And get this, out of the last 7 years, print comic books have increased in sales every year. And out of the 5 years, 6 out of the 7 have increased. We saw one dip in, I believe it was 2017. But out of those 7 years, or 6 years of increase, 5 of them reach over the $1 billion mark. And I just wanted to bring this up because I hear so many people talking about, the industry isn't what it used to be. Comic books are dying. It's just all speculators and all this. Guys, there's something out there for all of us. I'm telling you. And knowing that the print sales are continuing to increase just speaks to the volumes of what this hobby is and what we all contribute to it. So don't underestimate the industry of comic book collecting, guys. So I just wanted to bring that up. The Star Wars guy, thanks for joining, and thank you so much. Yeah, B. Schnur says Mask of Phantasm, one of his favorite Batman movies. Alex Braun, remember when they tried to push out digital comics as the future of comics? Not a lot of people realize that audiences want something that they can hold and enjoy physically. Absolutely. And let me tell you that digital comics are amazing. I am so glad we have physical comics. My son has read literally hundreds of comics digitally since the shutdown, since he's been home from school and whatnot. And and if there's a book that I need to read that I don't have in a run, I can hop to a digital comic, buy it for $2, or do my $9.99 Marvel Unlimited subscription. And there's a market for it. But again, just to like what Alex was saying, I just don't think, at least for a very long time, not in my lifetime, is it ever going to replace digital comics. Physical comics whatsoever. Comics are absolutely selling well. They're selling better than they sold in the 90s. And that's without that's without the mass marketing. I mix those two words up, marketing. The mass marketing. And we're still beating the early to mid 90s. It's crazy. It really is, guys. And I hope everyone understands that. If Rob Liefeld is still employed, then that's proof it won't die. Oh, poor Rob. Look, I always give Rob credit. I always say Rob, in his own right, did something amazing. And he created two very, very iconic characters in Deadpool and Cable. And, regardless of his really shameful art at times, you got to give it to the guy. And I don't know him personally, and I never like to talk down, but he seems kind of smug. But at the end of the day, he's taken a lot of crap over the years. So, I mean, do you blame him, right? But, oh my gosh. Anyways, big up to Rob Liefeld. Cade, what's up from LA? Hey, Cade, have you ever been to a comic book shop on the outskirts of LA called Spiro's Heroes? I got to go down there about 3 years ago, and it's an amazing place. They just recently moved. But awesome shop, man. What do you think about She-Hulk spec right now? Let me tell you what I think about She-Hulk. I think so much about She-Hulk that I sent my She-Hulk #1 into CGC, even though I knew it was a lower grade. I guessed it to be a 5.0. I should have it in my hands by Friday, hopefully. Yeah, here's the thing. I think She-Hulk has been an underrated character. I think She-Hulk is great. I think She-Hulk is primed to do well in the Disney Plus format. And I love that She-Hulk's first appearance is her #1 book. And I love that it's a Bronze Age book. So, yeah, this is a book that, obviously you have to take the movie hype and the MCU hype into consideration for Bubbles. But this is a book that's going to continue to increase in value, even if hype drops down here and there, and there's that ebb and flow. I think She-Hulk is going to do fine, and these books are going to increase. I think the Sensational Run, too, with the art and the storytelling, I think those books are primed to keep a higher dollar amount, even though they are more modern books. So, yeah, I have nothing but positives to say when it comes to She-Hulk right now. I say if you could still find a She-Hulk that's, a higher mid-grade to, a low higher grade for under $100. Obviously, if you could find, I don't think you're going to find a high grade under $100 now. But if you could find a decent higher mid-grade under $100 and you enjoy the character and you enjoy specking, I say why not? If you have the funds to do it. Alex says the most I went crazy for was the Marvel hip hop variants. I'm glad I got doubles of most of them. I never looked at the aftermarket prices. Yeah. A couple of my favorites are the Daredevil with the Tupac cover swipe. The Strictly album. And then the Nas Illmatic, which was shoot, was that a Miles book? The Nas cover swipe, I believe it was a Miles book. Those are a couple of my favorites. There's the Spider-Man All Eyes on Me Tupac one. So those are some of my favorites just off the top of my head. For sure. I don't have too many. I think I have a Tribe Called Quest one and a TLC one. Spiro's Heroes is the best for digging. Yes, yes. Awesome. I'm so glad you know about Spiro's Heroes. Them and DJS Universal Comics are the best in the city. Yeah, man. So my kids' grandparents, my parents treated us and the kids to a trip to Disneyland in 2017. I hadn't been there since I was a little kid. My kids had never been there, and we had a great experience. And I knew about Spiro's by a fellow viewer, Weapon X, that lives in that area. And I watched a video that he did showing off the store. I'm like, yo, I got to go to that store. I was just blown away. So when we went down there, I said, you know, because we were all in the same car with my parents. I said, guys, we're going to Spiro's Heroes on the way home. It wasn't a straight shot on the way home. We had to take like a side highway or something off of 5 to get there. And my poor parents, my poor dad, he sat in the car because I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in, maybe spend an hour. I spent 5 hours in that store, and we had like a 6-hour drive ahead of us still. I spent almost 5 hours in that store. What's his name? Elliot said, Phil, I brought a long box with me. I filled my long box up as much as I can. I shoved it. He said, fill up a long box for $100, however much you could fit. I filled it up. I packed it tight. I even put books like sitting flat on top. Elliot is such an amazing guy. I rated all those bins in those 4 rooms. I think I got my books at like 18 cents a piece. I think it was like almost 500 books. Then I bought some like early Bronze Age Captain Americas that were marked at like $7, $8, or $9, and he gave me like 35% off of those. Man, I can't wait to get back. I was hurt to hear that they were being forced out of their spot, but I guess they found a new spot. I can't wait to go back down there sometime and just check them out. Isaac, do I think Bronze Age books are spiking up more than Silver Age books? That's an interesting question. The boy who had 7. What is going on, Matt? Thanks for stopping in, man. I absolutely appreciate you. For sure, for sure. To answer Isaac, you got to look at, there's different ways to look at that, okay? Are Bronze Age books spiking more than Silver Age books? Not necessarily, but when you talk about specific books, yes. The reason being is you have some Bronze Age keys that are spiking specifically for movie hype right now, because a lot of what's going on in the MCU is coming from Bronze Age characters, Bronze Age storylines, and Bronze Age first appearances. I mean, you got the Wolverine's first appearance. It's just going through the roof regardless. Punisher. But, you know, you have hype around She-Hulk, Shang-Chi. Hype around, I mean, Nova. Hype around Quasar. Hype around, I mean, there's so many, man. You know, we had the hype around Thanos, which was kind of borderline end of Silver Age, early Bronze Age. You have Morbius. You have the Blade, right? So many first appearances that are just big right now because of the speculatory value. But there are still a lot of characters that we're probably going to see in the near future that are going to come from the Silver Age. I mean, look at the one right now that's a Silver Age book. 2 characters, Galactus and Silver Surfer. Those books are continuing to go through the roof. Fantastic Four, 48 and 49. And if we ever see the Inhumans properly in the MCU. Oh, Eternals, obviously, another one that we had all the hype for Bronze Age. So when you talk about dollar amount, you got to look at your Silver Age keys. When you think about the market and long-term and return on investment, Silver Age keys are always going to bring in higher return on investments in terms of probably dollar amount, because a lot of those values are already dwarfing Bronze Age books outside of your ASM 129 and Hulk 181s, right? But when you talk about return on investment in percentages, you have a possible higher percentage return on investment, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to garnish a higher dollar amount return on investment. And that's why I say that Bronze Age is prime for the picking right now, because you can buy more books at an affordable rate without breaking your book. You can find keys under $100, and you can find keys from the $100 to $500 range in the Bronze Age that, you know, are still increasing in value, and percentage wise might be a higher percentage wise over long term than some Silver Age keys. But look, so let me give you an example. If you buy a Nova #1 and you bought it a year ago for $50, right? And that book right now is worth $100. You have a return on investment of 100%, okay? Because you're doubling your money, all right? It's actually, technically, it's a 200% return, but when you talk about profit, it's 100% of what you paid in profit, right? If you bought an Amazing Fantasy 15, excuse me, say you bought an Amazing Fantasy 15 a year ago or a couple years ago for $10,000, right? And now in that same grade, it's worth $13,000. Well, your return on investment is only 30%. There's a 30% profit margin of return on investment next to the $100% profit margin return on investment of a Nova #1. But what's the higher dollar amount? $3,000 next to $50, right? But you're not spending as much. You're not coming as much out of pocket. Spending $50 on a book that's going to possibly double in value might be more feasible to the average collector than trying to go find $10,000, take out a second mortgage on your house because you want to go buy an Amazing Fantasy 15 in a lower grade. So, you know, that's what it's not ever. When you talk about numbers, when you talk about what books are doing, Silver Age, Bronze Age, speculatory value, return on investment, you gotta, it's not black and white. You have to take into consideration all of these things. So I hope that answered your question and added context, because there's no black and white answer. You have to look at all these variables to say, this is what works for me, and this is how I want to look into collecting. This is how I want to budget my money. Right now, for me, I'm on a budget, obviously, and if I have a certain amount of money, there's a point in time where I would rather buy just cheap dirt 50-cent books. But right now, I do want to take in more speculatory value, and I also love Bronze Age books, so I would rather buy random Bronze Age books that are still decently cheap, because there could be speculatory value, and I think just overall in the long run, they're going to gain more value, even if they're not a key book, than modern books that you find in the 50-cent bin. So, but it's all about how you want to collect, guys, for sure. Star Wars guy, what do you think about Chris Evans and John Boyega, Captain America, and Finn wanting to focus on acting in other movies than Star Wars and Marvel? Okay. I am so okay with Robert Downey Jr. being done with Iron Man. Maybe a little cameo flashback here and there would be cool, but he's done. He's dead. Let him be dead. His story arc was epic. I'm not okay with Chris Evans being gone, man. I'm not ready for it. I want to see him there, but I understand. Look, this is their livelihood, guys. This is their lives. These are real human beings, and this is their careers. You don't want to be stuck in one thing forever. And with Chris Evans' sake, he did it for, 9 years. Now, hey, Chris Evans is still young enough. He's only a couple years older than me. Chris Evans is still young enough to where he could take a 5-6 year hiatus and come back as Cap. and still do it in a dominant fashion. So I am totally okay with that. John Boyega, on the other hand, I think his reasonings might be a little different. I know he wasn't happy with Rian Johnson. And I know that he was very adamant about JJ coming back on the last film. I think that what Rian Johnson did with his character was a shame, even though he had his own kind of like side storyline, you know. But I just believe it did not fit. I think they made him too much of a caricature. You know, I don't want to get into all that, but look, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. The Star Wars franchise, there's so much you could do with it. And, you know, hey, like even with John Boyega, you know, Finn can come back some years down the line if he wants to do it then. They have so much material that they can roll out, though. So I am not mad at them whatsoever. Nas was Miles, yes. I don't think I have that one, though. Matt, absolutely, man. I really appreciate, you know, come. I know I came onto your channel and you know, probably later than I should have, but ever since I appreciate you know, your friendship. I appreciate your content. And man, you know, again, guys, again, sub everyone up. If you guys haven't checked out The Boy Who Had Seven, he does an amazing show. Comic Gories. I missed the last couple episodes, but man, it's good watch. Get your popcorn and check them out. That Star Wars guy, thank you. I get a lot of Canadian love, and I appreciate that, guys. And you know, I had plans to move to Vancouver, British Columbia, a couple years ago after graduating college. Unfortunately, it looks like that's off the table with everything going on in the world. I don't even know if I can leave the country. It's crazy right now. Let's see. Ah, man, lots of Canadians. I love it. About? Do you got how many Canadians in the house say about when you say about? I love it. I'm not mocking it. I love it. I love Canadian accents, man. I when I worked at Starbucks a lifetime ago, and I worked with this young girl, and she was from Canada, but she was from it was from like where's Fargo? Is that like Wisconsin, Fargo? That area where it's like close to the border of Canada. And she would say teabag in such how would she say it? Teabag. And I loved it. I love that accent, man. Speaking of Canadians, BigLBo, what's going on, man? Ah, yes. And thank you for the congrats, BigLBo. I appreciate it, man. I love it, man. I love my fellow Canadians. I got to go to BC when I was 7 years old. I don't remember too much, but I remember a little bit of it. Yeah, awesome. What do I think about Star Wars movies going on a lower budget? Wow. Look, man. I mean, there's just you can use Disney Plus and have a lower budget and make it work. It's not always about budget. It's not. You know, it's really not. And I do believe that The Mandalorian came in on a decently lower budget. So yeah, absolutely. It's. I mean, how many times have we watched big budget films and it's like, okay, we've seen this before. Really, that's it. I mean, take for example, Jack Ryan. You know, what's the author's name? Clancy. Shadow Recruit with Chris Pine that came out in 2014, I believe. That was a big budget film. Dude, the Amazon Prime Jack Ryan show blows it out of the water. That movie was crap, man. It was crap. I liked Harrison Ford's portrayal, but that movie was crap. And I like what Straczynski, however you say his name, is doing with the Amazon show, and it's blowing. So yeah, it's not always about budget for sure. Newbie Comics, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, for those that didn't know, that may have showed up late, I am giving, I do have a giveaway going on. Not much, but just a little something for anyone that's subscribed to me and just makes a comment below. I'm giving away X-Men, Giant Size X-Men #1 reprint and a mid-grade Conan the Barbarian #100 that I will be putting in a press. And I might find a little trinket here or two or there to go along with it. And I will be posting a video stating the winner, and just be on the lookout for that. And reach out to me if it is you. BigLBo just hopped in when we were talking about the Canadians. It's awesome. North Dakota. Yeah, North Dakota. Some of them have that kind of accent. Is that Fargo? North Dakota? Yeah. So many Canadians. I love this. Oh, what BigLBo says, I don't think I say a boot. A boot? A boat? But there are some other innuendos in my voice I noticed. But yeah, sometimes I've heard it. Definitely. Definitely. The Collector Guy. Let's see. Lower budget. I think it actually forces good storytelling, right? BigLBo, definitely. Is Mandalorian high budget? I think I forget, but I think I read that. I mean, it's a decently high budget considering the day and age. But I think I read that they came in under budget of what they were, what they proposed. Waterworld had an extremely high budget. Yeah, man. You know, Waterworld had a great concept, but it didn't really do much, you know? Isaac says, am I going to put my CGC books in my BCW plastic container? Yes, I am. Absolutely. I'll be doing that on video, guys. Cobra says, I know you do freelance art, but would you freelance an independent comic? Okay. And I think you mean the actual storyboards, right? I think that's what you're saying, Cobra Commander. I've been approached by multiple comic creators that say, I want an artist. I've seen your work. I want you to partner with me on this comic book idea. Excuse me, let me get some water. Here's my thing. I have declined this because of the main reason. The main reason is this. I'm more of a realist, okay? I do more realism, and that's where I can look at something and draw it. You know, I can look at a human being, or I can look at a picture of somebody and draw it. I can look at trees or nature and I can draw it. I'm not much of a cartoonist. They are really very, very different in many ways. And that's why I think you get artists like Alex Ross, although he's done some cover work, or excuse me, some panel work. A lot of these modern artists, they focus on doing cover work because, well, for one, it takes a lot of time, especially if you're like doing watercolors and whatnot, to do panel after panel. But I definitely think that if I tried to do panels, it would take me forever. It would take me forever, you know, and it's not that I couldn't do it. I mean, hey, look, I never really tried. You know, I never really tried to do anything cartoonish. So maybe if I did, it would work. But it's not really, I mean, because, yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty bad panel art. I'm like, I might be able to do better than that. Right? But I'm more for the realism, you know, and yeah, that's just kind of where my head's at with that. So, you know, I mean, hey, I used to make comic books as a kid when I was in like second, third, and fourth, fifth grade. Maybe I'll show those off sometime, but you know, obviously I was a kid and it was not, you know, hey, but yeah, so that's kind of my answer to that. Oh, Matt, Boybat7 says, love to see my art in a book. So yeah, it would be interesting, man. It would take me a very, very long time. Unless I just completely changed up and tried, you know, say, well, let me try to do some more cartoonish stuff where I and I'm a perfectionist, and I like structure, right? Realism in art is very structured. You know, you make it look like what you see. It's very mathematical. It's precise, right? So I would have to like strip all those boundaries down, and that's kind of scary for me. Like go into it and say, okay, well, but hey, I mean, look, man, all the feedback is encouraging. Darkseid versus Spawn, Batman versus Wolverine. Punisher 268, how you doing today, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. Darkseid versus Spawn. This is what I think. I think Darkseid would win, maybe more than once, but I think Spawn would keep coming back and would find a way to beat him. Batman versus Wolverine. This is interesting because again, you've got to take into consideration Wolverine's healing factor. If Wolverine doesn't get to Batman and physically like just maul him with his claws, what's Batman known for? Outsmarting people. Batman will outsmart Wolverine in some way, and maybe Batman, because he doesn't kill, wouldn't kill him. But again, I think he could possibly outsmart Wolverine. BigLBo wants to get back into drawing. I always encourage it, guys, even if it's just for fun. Mr. Rand, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate the congrats. Thank you so much. Punisher says, I never had an artistic bone. Look, you know, guys, I think, honestly, I think everyone is an artist in some way. Art, I think life, and I'm going to get all metaphysical on you guys. I think art is life. Life is a representation of art in its purest form. And we're artists. Life is our canvas, guys. Everything that we do is a stroke of a paintbrush. Everything. When we speak, when we articulate, the way that we dress, how we, you know, the style that we style our hair, how we represent ourselves, the jewelry that we wear, the attitude that we take, the relationship between others, whether it's music, whether it's reading or writing or dancing or just expression of some form or fashion. Politics, getting into politics or social issues, whether it's a faith and belief and spirituality and so forth. All of these things to me are art forms. Nature in itself is an art form. If you believe in a higher power, it's just like I said, all of this is art to me, and we're all here to create. As long as we are creating something, we are being artists. And every day that we wake up, we're creating moments, we're creating memories, we are ripples in the flow of the stream that will forever change that flow of the stream, right? You can throw one pebble into a river and you may not see the impact, but that pebble has changed the flow of that river forever. And that's what we are here, creating art, guys. So there it is. There's me getting deep there. My stick figures. Like I said, Punisher, you being here is an art form in itself. Yeah, you may not be the artist with the pencil or a pen or paint, but believe me, man, you're making your impact for sure. Great words. Thank you, BigLBo. Yeah, BigLBo. I just, so guys, let me talk about this real quick, guys. I just want to say, guys, I am going to be wrapping up here. And Don, the man, shows up. Don, you got to watch the first few minutes of the video. I gave you a big, huge shout out. You are just a pillar to me. And it's just so good to see your name in these comments. I am going to be wrapping it up here, guys, because I'm going to be going and checking out some A1 Comics live sale on Instagram. Just a weekend. Thank you, too, for stopping in. But I did want to talk about one other subject here before I wrap it up. 90M Hot Mud, how'd it go? Now I'm back. Right on, man. Thanks for popping back in. Okay, guys, so Star Wars fans, I'm going to do a video about this, too. I just did a Star Wars marathon, and I contemplated throwing in like Clone Wars, and Rebels. I watched the Clone Wars movie, and I'm still watching the show, but I didn't include it all as part of it. That would have took forever. I watched, this is what I did. I watched them in order of timing, right? Chronological. I watched the prequels. And then I watched Solo. Then I watched Rogue One. And then I watched the original trilogy. I watched the prequels, and I watched the Clone War movie in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And then I watched Solo, Rogue One, the original trilogy, and then the sequel trilogy. And let me tell you guys, two main points. One, I absolutely love Solo and Rogue One. This was my only second time watching Solo. Dude, if these aren't Star Wars films, I don't know what are Star Wars films. I absolutely love them. Ron Howard, who I believe is a long-time friend of George Lucas, I love those movies. I love them. And there's a flow. There's a tone that was there. It was present. The only movie that I felt didn't seem like it fit was The Last Jedi. That's the Last Jedi. When you watch them all together, there's this tone that exists, even in the prequels, even in the Disney movies, even in J.J. Abrams' Disney movies, even in Rogue One and Solo, and even in the original trilogy. There's a tone that's there. There's some type of humor that's there. There's this kind of this back and forth banter relationship between characters that's always there. This dry humor that's always there. The only one, and then the tone of the action is always there. The tone of the universe is always there. The only one that was missing that and that was different was The Last Jedi. And I'm going to say it right now, guys. Excuse me. Yeah, The Last Jedi. I'm going to say this now. The Last Jedi borderline more of a Spaceballs tone than it did a Star Wars tone. I'm stating it and I'm sticking to it. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't pieces of that movie or points of that movie. Like, I love the relationship between Kylo Ren and Rey in that film. I don't mind what they did with Luke and how the whole, he was actually enlightened. He wanted the Jedi to end. It wasn't theirs to keep. The Force isn't, but they didn't dive deep enough into it. The explanation of him trying to kill Kylo Ren, I talked about that over the last 2 years now, which just, it made no sense. One of the worst lines of movie history where Rose says, we don't fight those we hate. We save those we love. And let me just say, Finn was going to sacrifice himself to kill their little blaster thing, which would allow the resistance to get away. And Luke wouldn't have had to come and kill himself. But no, Rose bashes him out of the way, and Luke has to now come and kill himself. And over the most stupidest rationale in movie history. So the movie made no sense, but I'm not even talking about that. The tone was ridiculous. So I'm going to say it, guys. I'm going to say it. Spaceballs. Rian Johnson spaceballed Star Wars. Other than that, I love Disney Star Wars. The Mandalorian. I love Disney Star Wars outside of The Last Jedi. So let me just look at what you guys are going to say. Okay, guys. Okay, here's the thing. Kez Collectibles, appreciate you showing up. I'm going to, I don't mean to put you on blast. The SJW crap. Look, I don't want to stereotype, and I say, I'm not opposed to people bringing up political talk in the comments, obviously, as long as you're kind to each other. But I'm going to tell it straight up. I don't believe politics had anything to do with what ruined The Last Jedi. Politics that lean liberal have been in comic books forever, have been in Star Wars forever. But those arguments are kind of null. There was one argument with that, the First Order was the white men and the Resistance was forced diversity, and they're saying all white men are bad. Watch all three movies again. The First Order had, I think, more women than than the original trilogy did. Because what did the original trilogy had? 2 women in the films, right? And they had minorities and they had women in the First Order. So it just and I know Holdo, I couldn't stand Holdo's character. It was ridiculous, but the trying to call it an agenda, look, just that's not where I go with it. I don't know. Her having purple hair and wearing a robe and being a woman had nothing to do with anything for me. But her character was completely out of place. And the way she tried to like walk around like, oh, I mean something was just ridiculous. It made no sense. Rose was a fine character. You could bring her in. I don't care that she's Asian or a woman, but she didn't have no place in the film. So, you know, like I said, we could keep all that agenda out of it and just look at the storytelling and say, yeah, it was bad storytelling. So that's my approach to it. That's my approach. You know, so I think that maybe as Star Wars fans that had issues with The Last Jedi, we could put the politics aside and actually just agree that you're right. When we get down to the nitty gritty, it was the storytelling. I don't want to spend any more time about that. It's 2.5-year-old argument. Rogue One was some of the best storytelling. I'm with you on that. Mythlab, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the congratulations. The Schwartz. Spaceballs was better. Oh, man. You know how Luke died? Why did his artificial... I know, that was brought up, the artificial arm disappearing. Star Wars always rocked politics. It's just the sequels didn't have a coherent message, which didn't make it stick. And that's true, too. And I still believe the Canto Bight was a waste of time. You know, again, I'm not angry that there was like a message there. You know, Anakin was a slave that was free to go be a Jedi, you know, but it was a waste of time. I actually counted. It was like 20 minutes of wasted time. I actually counted. I put it on pause and took notes. How long was this Canto Bight crap going on for? Kev's Collectibles, I just seen your other comment. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. And for the sake of every other viewer, I just want you to be careful in how you're approaching this, okay? And whether that's coming onto my channel in the future or commenting, I don't silence personal view. Believe me, I get annoyed when liberal type-minded people attack conservatives. I don't like when conservative people attack liberal. So if you have a point that is politically based, try not to stereotype or generalize people into a box to where it turns into becoming demeaning, okay? And I want you to know that. I'm not here trying to silence you or your opinion, okay? But we have to convey these opinions while respecting everyone else, okay? That's how I stand my ground on my channel. That's what I expect out of everyone else. And I don't think it's that much to respect. I'm all about unity and community. And I don't care who you vote for in the voting booths. I don't care what God you pray to and what church you go to. I don't care if you voted for Trump or Obama or Hillary or Biden or Bernie or whatever. I don't care. Red, blue, it's silly to me. It's like gang banging in the streets. Red and blue, you don't own those streets regardless. We are human beings that can come together because we have more in common than we have that's different. And we love comic books. And, you know, like I said, so if I wasn't clear enough, I hope that was clear to my point to where I appreciate all of you, but we have to keep it respectful. All right, guys. This is thank you, Kevs. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that. Kev's Collectible said he respects of you, respects everyone's opinions about it as well. And I want you guys to know that. I feel a little deflated here because I didn't want my live stream to end kind of on this this note. Black Sheep Comics, thanks for stopping in. I am about to wrap up, but you know, on a positive note, guys, you know, I brought up the Star Wars thing, and I know it could be touchy, but I just, again, this was a very positive live stream. I appreciated everyone showing, and I didn't really want to get politics involved in it at the end, but I really hope that even though it did, it shows that we can all still respect each other. And like I said, I think a lot of us agree. One thing that we agree on is that we could probably do away with The Last Jedi for better or for worse. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up and say, guys, remember, everyone that showed up today and watched, I'm going to randomly pick somebody in the comics to give my little small giveaway. Giant Size X-Men reprint, Conan number 100. So look out for a video where I announce the winner of that. Thank you guys so much. All my subscribers, all my viewers, all my fellow YouTube content creators. I appreciate you all, guys, so much. To 2,000 subscribers, here's to 2,000 more and beyond. Like I said, guys, I'm going to keep trying to improve my channel for you all. And, you know, like I said, I think it's interesting that this the politics side of things got brought up in the end, because I will end on one more note that I want you all to understand, okay? Politics are obviously essential in our life, whether we like it or not, whether we want to label it one side of politics or another side of politics. Politics are going to be there. I believe we have a warped idea of what politics are in this day and age on all ends and sides of it, okay? I think we politicize too much stuff. And what I mean by that is when we say this is political and that's political, a lot of it isn't. A lot of it's just social. It's what affects us day-to-day lives. A lot of it is basic economics. And I think we need to strip the political labels away sometimes and focus on the pure economics of things and the pure social related things of matters. And we need to strip that away and come back to looking at each other as human beings, okay? Comic books have always been something like that for me, to where it allows me to find something that I love. And it's not everything. I don't love everything about comic books. I find what works for me. And I believe that for each and every one of you too. And if we continue to love this hobby like we love it, and if we continue to pull out what, speaks to our heart and soul, and that we could come here and share what we love, I'm telling you guys, turn off the news, turn off the media, turn off social media outside of pop culture stuff, and love your neighbor. We have more in common with each other than we do different. If we turned off the TV, guys, and I know we're social distancing right now, and we can't really connect with our neighbors in a normal way, but I guarantee you, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, brown, Asian, whatever it is, whether you're American, Canadian, European, Middle Eastern, Asian of some sort, no matter where you're at in the world, and if you turn off your TVs, you turn off your cell phone devices and your whatever, and you go outside and you start just looking at your neighbors and you start a conversation and you smile and you say, hey, how's it going today? And we just connect on a human level. I guarantee you, who they voted for or what church they pray at and all that, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter, because most of us want the same thing. We want to have a good, healthy life where we can enjoy the things that we love. And some of those things are universal, and that's family, friends, and for all of us watching, comic books. Comic books. So let that be my final note here today, guys. I appreciate you all. I don't care what you've been through in your life, who you vote for, what God you pray to, what the color of your skin is, if you are a man, woman, if you are young, old, if you collect Bronze Age or you collect variants, if you hate variants or you love hoarding. I don't care. I love you all. Okay, so let's continue to collect what we're passionate about. Like I said in the beginning of this live stream is dedicated to OMG Chris, and he was the epitome of creating community and family, bringing everyone together. Collect what you're passionate about, share it on YouTube. I thank you all for sharing your time with me. I thank you all for giving me the time to be able to share my time and my voice with you. It's beyond humbling. It truly is. I'm getting goosebumps just saying this right now. I wouldn't do this without you guys. You guys give me the world to be able to do this with you and for myself, because it's very, very important for me. So thank you all, R&R, Kevs, B-Level, Myth Lab. I really, really appreciate you all. I would keep on going. I'm going to hop over to A1 Comics' Instagram. They're having a sale right now. Go check them out, guys. Let's do this again soon. I got a lot of good content coming out for the rest of the week. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jernos_Comics. I'm freshly active now on Facebook at Jernos Comics. Thank you again to everyone that I shouted out, all my subscribers. Be blessed, be safe, stay healthy. Until next time, guys.